Hello, this is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002. I'm going to be looking at Serpentor and his air chariot today. This is the exclusive Comic-Con action figure that was released by Hasbro last year in 2022. Now, I've done a short on Serpentor before, but I never did review it entirely. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Serpentor is a classic character. He's a Cobra Emperor that was created from the DNA of history's greatest leaders, according to Cobra, where Destro and Dr. Mindbender owned the tombs of famous leaders to create this new monstrosity that would replace Cobra Commander. In the comics, this was the same origin, but Serpentor became a figurehead more than anything else, and Cobra Commander did not lose his leadership of Cobra. But here, in the G.I. Joe cartoon, this is different. This is the same history that's reflected in the box art for this set. If you look at it, you can see various parts of the character's history. Let's put it over there. It's probably going to be easier to see. So this is from the cartoon when he took on the throne, well, the leadership of the United States. Again, Serpentor from the comics where he sacrificed himself and so on. So various scenes. And if we open the package, we can see more. Now, as I've said many times, I am not into packaging, but this package was special. It was beautiful. I think we paid the price for it also. Serpentor was very expensive for a single figure. Obviously, Serpentor fit in this box with all of his equipment here, as you can see. Throne room, even his snake. I'll have to find the extra snake that he has for this review, so on. Alright, so this is Serpentor's package with a nice insert, and Serpentor is number 57. Let's start with the chariot. The chariot was never a practical vehicle, very dangerous, especially for someone wearing a cape, but Serpentor is a vain man, so he doesn't care that it's a very dangerous thing for him to travel on. It has foot pedals here, and they're not very resistant. They easily flip back inside like that. You can see all the industrial look with the bolts stuff. This weapon is something that could be reused in a later G.I. Joe set with the ammo. So instead of going for classic laser or something completely unique, they went for something that they could reuse in the future. You can also put fire effect in the 5mm guns. I find after a year, it's very loose. Right? This is after a year of having this figure. This one is a little bit more sturdy than that one. Within the head, there is a gun. You can see this. So the Cobra head can shoot lasers or something right here, but you can also shut them out when it's not in use. It's a cool feature. It's molded gold plastic with some paint areas here. There are controls for the vehicle, speedometer, everything. Controls here, like you can see. It's very nice. Exhausts things in guide flight. This turret moves, but there's no flipper like in the bottom to make it move on its own. Would have been fun. Well, you can put your finger underneath, but it doesn't do much like that. So this is the air chariot, the famous air chariot from Serpentor. It's huge. It's very big, which is kind of surprising. And now Serpentor himself, head honcho of Cobra. So Serpentor is a chunky action figure, but he comes with several props. Here, you can see the snake that he used in the G.I. Joe cartoon movie to rip into Duke's chest. He also has two sets of Wolverine-like claws that can be removed. So you can replace them with the retracted, extended ones if you want to play Wolverine with the character. Of course, a sword, a scepter, a cape with snake pattern, and the coolest feature is the headgear, which can be removed. So you can remove the top of the helmet, but also in the back, the headdress, which is attached like this. If you put this one instead, it's going to be straight on the head. this way and there. So this is more the way he looked in the cartoon. But if you do this, you cannot twist his head or move it. Obviously it will, because the peg is not secured tightly in his back, like that. But if you want it to be tightly secured, the head doesn't move. So although it does look like the cartoon better here, he doesn't move quite as well. So I prefer to put the separate headpiece and headgear, which also stays on better. Since Serpentor's head moves quite well, he's got full mobility again with his head. His articulations, he's got the regular ones, the shoulders, torso twist, not really a hab crunch, a bit like bazookas. Obviously swivels at the biceps, double elbow articulation as well as double knee articulation, and he can bend and twist his wrists. He's got the drop down feature like most G.I. Joe Classified. In his case it's very tight, so it's not a problem like other figures. And of course swivels at the thighs and double knee articulation here. Like I mentioned, it's pinless, and very good joints at the ankle. He can also twist his shins. So he's got very good solid articulation. I like that. The face, looks good. And even though it's gold paint, there's not some of the bugs that you usually get with gold paint, where there's like runs. Now the major issue with Serpentor is fitting him on his air chariot. It's not easy because of the peg holes here in the feet. You can see the two peg holes here. Obviously he's got peg holes there. The moment you try to straighten him out, as you can see, the pedestals have already fallen. It's not easy. I'm losing control. There you go. You have to push the feet in, but at the same time you don't want to break the ankles too much. You don't want to push too much hard on the ankles. So yeah, he does stay on. But it's not what I would say the most secure way to travel. So he will stay on, but probably would have to hold the handles back. for it to fit better. This is Serpentor snake, pet snake, came with a package. This is Serpentor for you. Expensive figure, exclusive to Hasbro, and in Canada, you could buy it at GameStop. I bought mine from GameStop. I canceled my order from Pulse once I got the one from GameStop. This is the figure. This is Serpentor, a classic character. This is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002. Like and subscribe.